Hello my friends, welcome to the Commander's Crypt. I absolutely love making these videos. I was chilling by the pool thinking about my new video I was going to make, and so I hopped up real quick and ran over here and gonna do it. I want to thank everybody for all the prescriptions, all the subscriptions. Here at the Commander's Crypt, we're trying to create a Commander community, not just have a channel. So we've got a lot of exciting things in the future lined up. We're going to help people in the Commander community work toward causes and classifieds, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I've got a lot of exciting things coming in the future, so please hit that subscribe button. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I've got a lot of things planned in the future, and you're going to be glad that you came in when you did and grow with us. So the Commander Crypt has partnered with Go for Games. We're helping each other out. So if you're looking for cards, go on there, check out their website and see if they've got what you want. If they do, tell them Brad from the Commander's Crypt sent you. So what we're going to do today is we are going to open up a pre-release box of the Streets of New Capenna, and then we're going to talk about the 25 best cards in New Capenna. And if you look on YouTube, there's probably nobody else, talking about 25 of the best cards. But this set is really, really good. I mean, I've been playing Magic since 1994. I can't believe all the amazingly awesome cards that this set has. I mean, it's got a lot, especially after Neon Dynasty. It had some neat stuff, kind of, brought you back down memory lane from the old, Kamigawa stuff. But this set has so many amazing cards in it. I'm very impressed. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how many cards, why I think they're good, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of really good stuff in this set. So without any more hype, we will get into it. Here's the box, and if you watched my box opening video, I absolutely love opening boxes and packs and stuff. So I did so well with the box that I decided to get the pre-release kit. A buddy of mine did so well, I was like, wow. So I decided to get one too. So what we're going to do today is we're going to open it up, see what we get, and then we're going to get into so this is the Maestro box. So each house had its own. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get in the box. So this is the Maestro box. It's the Grixis. I like Grixis Assassination as an art. I like that. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to open up the Maestro pre-release kit and see what we get. So let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Got some counters on there. Okay. All right. And then it comes in another box. So far it's like a Russian doll. All right, let's see if it's inside another box here. Okay, we got some packs. All right, we got the life counter. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got. We got some packs. Okay. And it looks like we've got. Looks like we can get a discount on some arena stuff. Okay, so this is what we get in the pre-release kit. It looks like we get some cards there and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 draft boosters. Okay. So a buddy of mine did really well on this, so let's see how we do here. So we've got a Glamorous Outlaw, and after we do this, we'll get into the whopping 25 best cards of New Capenna. So there we go, get that So we've got Glamorous Outlaw, Vampire Rogue. Glamorous Outlaw enters the battlefield. It deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you scry 2. Exile Glamorous Outlaw from your hand. Target land gains. Oh, okay, yeah, I like these. This is another mechanic about this set that I really like. So I was kind of thinking, you know, it's going to kind of stink if they put out, you know, a whole set that has to have 3 colors in order to operate. Yeah, they put the tricycle lands out, but I was like, you know, I was thinking that's not gonna, it's gonna need more help than that. So then as I was looking through the sets again, they have creatures that help facilitate the actual colors that you're going to be using, and I thought that was very slick, very smart, very awesome. Like in this case, what you do is, it says 2 colorless, exile Glamorous Outlaw from your hand. Target land gains tap. Add blue, black, or red until Glamorous Outlaw is cast from exile. You may cast Glamorous Outlaw for as long as it remains exiled. I actually thought that was really slick. So second turn, 2 colorless, you exile this from your hand, and now one of your lands can tap for anything. I actually thought that was really, really slick and really, really cool that they did that. All right, let's see what else we got. Maestro's Theater. I like this card. It's basically another fetch land. When you do, search your library for a basic land, swamp, or mountain card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle, and you gain 1 life. You know, I thought this was a cool card. You know, you can't really have enough fetch lands. All right, let's see what else we got here. Common. Crooked Custodian. He's got somebody in the carpet there. Oh my gosh. Midnight Assassin. Vampires. I like this. I like this actually. A Flying Death Toucher is very nice. Helps with the defense. Join the Maestros. Murder. Okay, they copied the murder. Okay. Fake your own death. Rooftop Nuisance. Rob the Archives. Unlucky Witness. Cormella Glamour Thief. Lord Xander the Collector. Okay, that's nice. I like that. And we get a foil unlicensed hearse, and that's it. So you're going to see that unlicensed hearse is one of the 25 cards that I think is the best cards in this set. This is Graveyard Hate that's targeted. I absolutely love it. For 2 mana, you put it down, and tap it, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Somebody that's, you know, trying to reanimate or, you know, play some other shenanigans. We have a guy in our group that plays that Emery deck, and he just keeps pulling out all his artifacts out of the graveyard. I think this is a really, really good card. So now I have a foil version of it, so I'm pretty happy about that. So you'll see that I included this card, and this card as some of the best cards in the set, and we just got some more of them. I'm happy with the foil licensed hearse. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll crack these 5 packs here real quick, and then we'll get on to the rest of the video. So if you've just joined us, we're a new channel. I absolutely love Magic. I've been playing Magic since 1994. We're a new channel, so we're starting out. You know, I was talking to someone here in the New Orleans area, and they were saying, you know, if I had, you know, one gripe about the channel, it's the audio. Well, you know, what's going to happen is as we, you know, continue on and start getting more sophisticated, we'll get the, you know, the more expensive, you know, microphones and cameras and all that stuff. But since we're just starting out, you know, there's going to be some growing pains. So you'll see as we go along, the production value of these videos will go up. So one of the uncommons is a disciplined duelist, double strike, enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Okay, that's not bad. Park Heights Pegasus is the rare. That's kind of a whiff. Slip out the back. That's another one of the cards I was going to talk about today. So we'll save that for later. Okay, cool. We got another foil in that, and okay, so we'll crack these other 4 packs, and then we'll get into the 25 best cards of the set. So yeah, I really enjoy making these videos. I've been playing Magic, like I said, since 1994. I love playing Commander. And we're going to talk about, you know, we're also going to talk about some Type 1 stuff too. You know, Legacy and Vintage. I always call it Type 1 because that's what they called it 30 years ago. But please subscribe. You're gonna like what we've got in store for you. So this pack has a Fatal Grudge, another card I was going to talk about. I think this is a good card. Rogues Gallery, okay, whatever. Stimulus Package, okay, whatever. Hostile Takeover, it's kind of a poopy card. Okay, so, all right, we got 3 more of these. Let's do it. Bet you didn't. So yeah, so you're getting lots of value today. We're going to talk about. We're going to open up one of these release boxes to see what it's like, but then also we're going to talk about the 25 best cards in the set. So, Broker's Charm. You know, some of these charms are pretty good. Choose 1, target creature you control gets +1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. Okay, so that's the green part. It fights. Destroy target enchantment. Okay, that's the white part. And draw 2 cards. That's the blue part. I don't think that's too bad, actually. Tavern Swindler. Void Rend, another card we're going to talk about. And looks like we got a foil. Tola's Clever Conductor. Okay. All right. So we got two rares in that one. Nice. I'm okay with that. All right. So let's get that out of here. We got 2 more packs to do. And then we will talk about the 25 best cards from the set. There is a lot of very good cards in this deck, and we're going to talk about applications for them. So we've got a Keza, Augur of Agonies, Sanctuary Warden, 5/5 Angel Soldier flying. Sanctuary Warden enters the battlefield with 2 shield counters on it. Whenever the Warden enters the battlefield or attacks, you may remove a counter from a creature planeswalker control. If you do, draw a card and create a 1/1 green land white citizen creature token. Heck, I think I'd rather just keep the shield counters on her. This card would work well in the Giada deck, which I just did a deck tech on. Go check it out. Okay, 1 more pack, and then we will get to the 25 best cards of this set. So, I'm gonna have to yell at my buddy because he did really well and then he made me get one, but that's okay. That's all right. We're gonna open them up for you guys that can't quite get out there and get a box or packs yet. So we're doing this for you. So, Corpse Appraiser. You know, I'm not a big fan of this card. Okay, whatever. Suspicious Bookcase. Okay, I think this is a good card. This is basically a Rogue's Passage for cheaper. and it can help block too, and it's an artifact. So if you have something with an artifact count that helps you make mana or whatever, this is another fantastic card from this set. You know, Rogue's Passage, you have to tap that land and shoot, I think it's 6 other lands in order to activate that one. This one you do not. I think that's a very good card too. Oh, got another Giada, okay. And then we've got an artifact creature, Angel Warrior, 2/2, and 3 colorless, Paragon of Modernity gets +1/+1 until end turn. If exactly 3 colors of mana were spent to activate this ability, put a +1/+1 counter on it instead. Okay, whatever. All right, so kind of a whiff with that little pre-release box. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the 25 best cards of this set. So, without further ado, get in there. All right. So, this set has 5 tricycle lands in it. So, that's going to be the honorable mention. This one is the Xander's Lounge. Island, Swamp, Mountain, add 1 blue, black, or red, enters the battlefield tap, or you can cycle it out. I think this is, the whole set of those cards are very good. There's 5 of them, so that's gonna be an honorable mention. So, I mean, think about it. So the set's already got 5 tricycle lands. Okay, so that's good. Another honorable mention is gonna be Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. He's Jund. He is a Rhino Warrior. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power until end of turn. You know, I don't know how awesome he would be as the top commander, but I know he's going into my Jund deck. I'm going to make that dragon, and I think he would work perfectly in that deck. So that's another honorable mention. I think that could be a good card in the right deck, the right application. Zeatora's Envoy, another honorable mention. He is also Jund in a colorless trample. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of your library. You may play a land from the top of your library or cast a spell with mana cost less than or equal to the damage dealt from the top of your library without paying its mana cost. If you don't put that card into your hand, I think that is extremely strong. You know, heck, he could even, yeah, so I think that's very strong. You know, if you hit with this guy, and he's also got Blitz, which means you could bring him in with haste, you can cast something off the top of your deck, either, you know, a land or a spell, and if you don't want to, you can put it on the bottom of your deck. I think that's very strong. Another honorable mention, Getaway Car. I think this is another honorable mention, Getaway Car in the right application. I think this could be a very good card. So let's say it's 3 colorless, so it's cheap. It's a 4/3, so you get a 4/3 for 3. That's pretty good. It's got haste. That's fantastic. Whenever Getaway Car attacks or blocks, return up to 1 target creature that crewed it this turn to its owner hand. Crew 1. I think that's fantastic. So let's say you play this down, and then 4th turn you play a Ravenous Chupacabra. You kill a creature, then crew the Getaway Car with it, and then it bounces back into your hand, and you can just keep killing everything on the board with a Ravenous Chupacabra. So what I'm getting at is this card could be very fantastic. It basically bounces cards into your hand that have juicy ETBs. So another honorable mention, I think in the right circumstances, this could be a pretty awesome card. And so now we'll get into the 25 best cards. We got Cormella, Glamour Thief. She is also Grixis, legendary creature, vampire rogue. She's a 2/4 haster, 1 colorless tapper. You can add Grixis, spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells. When she dies, return up to 2 target instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. She can be a piece in a lot of infinite combos, so that's why she's in here. Cabaret Ascendancy, another fantastic card. This would be the 24th top card in my list. One white, one green, one red. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it on the bottom of your library. I think that is fantastic. That's kind of like the artifact Herald's Horn, where you name a creature type and during your upkeep you look at the top card of your library. If it's, let's say it's an angel, like you said, then you get to put it in your hand. So I think this is a fantastic card. It's even better than Herald's Horn, because if you don't put the card in your hand, you may put it in the bottom of your library. It lets you scry. I think that's very strong. Next card, 23rd card, would be Cut of the Prophets. The reason why I like this card is 2 black and X. It's a sack outlet. So black is always looking for ways to sacrifice creatures. And then when you do, for X, you draw X cards and you lose X life. That could be, you know, drawing cards is one of the most powerful things you can do in Magic the Gathering. And, you know, black has a lot of lifelink, that type of stuff. So you could, you know, replenish your hand and get back into the game. Next is Graveyard Shift. I think this is a fantastic card. It's about par for the course for what reanimate spells are going for these days. 5 manas, that's not so bad. If you're in black and you're doing a reanimator thing, you know, you're gonna be filling your graveyard. So what the top line says is this spell has flash as long as there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So what this does is it allows you to reanimate for 5, which is about the going rate. But then also, if you've got a big graveyard, you could be able to flash this into play, and you know, pull out a big fatty to block, or pull him out during the preceding player's turn to then be able to attack. Not have summoning sickness when it's your turn. I think this is a fantastic card. Citizen's Crowbar. Okay, so I know this is kind of janky, but it's got a lot of value. That's why I put it in here. For 1 white, 1 colorless, when a Citizen's Crowbar enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token that attach Citizen's Crowbar to it. Equipped creature gets +1 and has 1 white, tap it, sack. Citizen's Crowbar, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay, so, you know, even if you got a bunch of other disenchant type of spells or effects in your deck, this has got all kinds of value. For 2 mana, you get to basically put a 2/2 out there, and then if somebody puts something out there that you don't like, a artifact or enchantment, you can just kill it with this. I think that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, people might be, you know, reluctant to put down their really awesome moat or some kind of crazy enchantment if this is down here. So this could be a deterrent as well. So I think this is a fantastic card. It's an uncommon. Cut Your Losses. This is basically for 2 blue and 4 colorless. It's a sorcery casualty 2. You may sacrifice a creature with 2 or greater. When you do, copy the spell and choose a new target for the copy. I mean, look at that. This is like the old spell Traumatize that I used to play with 20 years ago. But you sacrifice a creature, you can copy the spell. Target player mills half their library, rounded down. That could be a real big problem, especially if you have some way of exiling those cards when they hit the graveyard. This is a fantastic card in my opinion. I will be picking these up. And to be honest, I'm just going to be honest with you. All of these cards that I'm showing you, I will be targeting foils. I'll be trying to get as many foils of these as I can. So just so you know. Rumor Gatherer. If you watch my box opening, you'll see I did actually crack a foil of her. White got a huge boost in this set. Smuggler's Share is a fantastic card. Grand Crescendo is a fantastic card. Rumor Gatherer and Benny are fantastic white cards. White really got a huge shot in the arm. Since we're on the subject, Grand Crescendo for 2 white and X, you can make all of your creatures indestructible, and if you got a bunch of mana, which you might with a Smothering Tithe or something like that, make all kinds of citizen tokens. So all those tokens come into play. Instant speed, can block, are indestructible, and all your other creatures are indestructible. Grand Crescendo is a fantastic card. Benny is a fantastic card, allows you to draw whenever a creature comes into play. It doesn't say cast. So with Grand Crescendo and Benny, you could flash in a bunch of 1/1s that are indestructible, that can block, and then draw cards off of it. Fantastic. Same thing with Rumor Gatherer. 2 white, 1 colorless. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Again, with Grand Crescendo, this works really well. You can scry a bunch. And then if this is the second time that you're using this ability, draw a card. So you'll get to draw a card with her as well. I think she's a good card. Maybe not the best. Maybe I should have had a lower, but I think she's good. Fatal Grudge. I think this is a fantastic card. Let's read it. 1 red, 1 black. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control that shares a type with the sacrificed permanent and sacrifices it. Draw a card. I think this is a fantastic card for Rakdos. 1 black, 1 red. Let's say you sack a enchantment. Black and red has a serious problem with enchantments. Now you've got a way to kill enchantments in black and red. That is unheard of. Then you get to draw a card afterwards. I think this is a fantastic card. There it is again, Unlicensed Hearse. This is Graveyard Hate. You saw I just picked up a foil one of those. Tap it, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Unlicensed Hearse power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled with accrue 2. So I'm going to be putting this in my Shurikai deck. If you haven't seen my deck tech on Shurikai, I would recommend it. I think it's a very good deck, and this goes right into it. It'll help you with mana. If you have, any way to improvise with your artifacts, but then also now your Shurikai deck could have Graveyard Hate, and then it gets bigger every time it targets 2 creatures. It's at instant speed. So if somebody tries to pull some shenanigans, even at instant speed, you do this after they do theirs, you stack it, and boom, they have no target. So fantastic card. An offer you can't refuse. I think this is a fantastic card, and there's been a lot of talk about it. It's basically the new Swan Song, but might be better. I had to take Swan Song out of some of my decks because just the way the deck was set up, giving them a Swan would then allow them to block and kill my commander or something like that. I actually had a Swan Song in my Vidillion Click competitive tier deck, and I couldn't use it because it could kill my Vidillion Click. I couldn't attack with my commander. So what I'm getting at is this is even better than that card in a lot of ways because it can counter planeswalkers. Swan Song says instant sorceries or whatever. This one says counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. Yeah, we don't want them to have treasure tokens, but we might not want them playing an insurrection either. So this is a fantastic card. I will be looking for foil versions of that. Corpse Explosion. Rakdos and a colorless as an additional cost to cast a spell. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Corpse Explosion deals damage equal to the exiled card's power to each creature and each planeswalker. I think they could be very strong. You know, I like big creatures. I like fatties. You know, if it's in the graveyard for some reason or somebody kills it, you can now use it to wipe the board. This is a board wipe. I think this is a good card. Obscura Interceptor. I think this is a good, as we're getting higher up into the tiers of how good I think these cards are. Obscura Interceptor, I have this relatively high because it's kind of a Snapcaster Mage. You know, Snapcaster Mage is up there in price. They're expensive. So, you know, this could be a potential, you know, substitute for that. Black, blue, white, and a colorless 3/1 with flash lifelink. When the Interceptor enters the battlefield, it connives. When it connives this way, return up to 1 target spell to its owner's hand. So, you know, you can bounce something into your hand, and it connives. You know, it's got flash, so it's basically a bounce spell. So I think this is a decent card. Now we're getting into the better cards. Void Rend, black, blue, white. This spell can't be countered at instant speed. Destroy target non-land permanent. I think that's a fantastic card. This will allow you to destroy things that are going to be problematic, and you don't have to worry about your spell being countered. Fantastic card. Jaxus the Troublemaker. Another very good card in this set. 1 red, 3 colorless. Legendary creature, human warrior, red, tap, discard a card. Create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. I think this is a fantastic card. This could go in Lord Xander the Collector. You can make a copy of him and make somebody discard their hand. This would be a good card in the Igniter Dragon. You know, you can make a copy of some big creature. I will be doing a deck tech on the dragon from this set today or tomorrow, and I'm going to be loading it up with lots and lots of direct damage burn spells like Warstorm Surge. It's going to have a lot of big creatures like Terror of the Peaks. So what I'm getting at, this would work in that deck very well. You could copy a Terror of the Peaks or something else and then have Warstorm Surge do damage to target creature or player. So this could be a very good card in that dragon deck. And then you could, with the Igniter Dragon, you could sacrifice that token and fling that token at somebody. So this would work well in Lord Xander and the Dragon deck. Structural Assault. I think this is a good card. 2 red, 3 colorless. It's basically Red's version of a Chroma's Vengeance. The Chroma's Vengeance is a sorcery, 2 white, 4 colorless, and it basically destroys enchantments, artifacts, and creatures. Now, we know red can't destroy enchantments directly, even though I just showed you a card in black and red that can potentially destroy enchantments. But this card can wipe the board in other ways, destroy all artifacts. Then Structural Assault deals damage to each creature equal to the number of artifacts that were put into graveyards from the battlefield this turn. So I think this is a fantastic card. It basically destroys all the, and if you're playing in a big pot, everybody's going to have Sol rings and, you know, lanterns and all kinds of artifacts. And you know, the bigger the pod you're playing, the more artifacts you're going to get with this, and then it's gonna hit the creatures too. I think this is a fantastic card. Undercover Operative. I really like this. You know, I was like, okay, yeah, clone, whatever. But then as I got to looking at it more, I was like, you know what? This thing is actually really good. Again, you could put this in your Lord Xander deck. It's a clone, 2 blue, 2 colorless, creature, shapeshifter, rogue. You may have Undercover Operative enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with a shield counter on it if you control that creature. So, you know, you could make a copy of Lord Xander with this, but let your real copy, you know, die, hit the graveyard, and now you know, after you're attacked with it, of course, and now you've got another Lord Xander out there with a shield counter on it. You know, that'd be one potential way to play this. Or if somebody else has got a big old Blightsteel Colossus out there, you could copy that with this as well. I think this is a very, very fantastic card. I'm looking at this thing and I realize there is definitely some potential shenanigans that could go with this card. Maestro's Ascendancy, I think this is getting higher up the list of my 25 best cards. Grixis, once during each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a creature. If a spell cast this way will be put into your graveyard, exiled instead. I think that's very, very strong. Very strong. So, I mean, you know, if you got a token strategy, you could, you know, bounce things out of your graveyard. But if, you know, if things are really bad, you could sacrifice, you know, another non-token creature. I think this is a very good card. Vivian on the Hunt, I think she's strong. 2 green, 4 colorless. I mean, this could go right into my Atraxa deck, and I'll tell you why. That her, you know, her negative is create a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. In my Atraxa deck, I could put this out and just every turn put out a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. Atraxa would proliferate that -1, and she would never lose any counters. But then when you look at her pluses are fantastic too. +2, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put it on the battlefield and shuffle. That allows you to tutor for bigger creatures than what you got out. You could keep doing that. You could, you know, do it and get a bigger creature, do it again, even bigger creature. So I think that's very strong. +1, mill 5 cards and put any number of creature cards milled this way into your hand. I think Vivian is up there. I think she's up there in power. And there's the Incinerator. I keep calling him the Incinerator Dragon. Zayatora the Incinerator. He's getting. I think in the proper build, this guy could be really good. He's Jund 3 colorless flying, and I'm gonna build one. I'm gonna build a Zayatora deck tech, and I think you're really gonna like it. It's gonna have Asmodeus in it, the other dragon, the Chaos Warp dragon. It's gonna have all kinds of direct damage every time a creature comes into play. Something's going to get burned. There's going to be so much death and destruction being flung around with this thing that nobody's going to be able to keep a creature on the board. That is what I'm going to build. You'll see. I think you're going to like this build. It's going to have all kinds of Warstorm Surges, Terror of the Peaks, Udvara Hellkites to make more tokens, Giant Adaphage to make more tokens. Everything's going to be coming into play and destroying. It's going to have Vondrus in it. You're going to like it, so be on the lookout for that. So this guy's a flyer. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, the Incinerator deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target, and you create 3 treasure tokens. I mean, on top of flinging this, you know, one of your 6/6s or 7/7 tokens into somebody's face, you're going to make 3 treasure tokens too. Very strong. Really, really like this guy. Next up in the power level is Lord Xander. I did a deck tech on him. It was more of a casual build. We'll work on a more competitive build. But basically what you would do with this guy is Grixis 4 colorless. You're going to, he's a 6/6. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half the cards in their hand, rounded down. Then when he attacks, the defending player mills half their library, rounded down. Then when Lord Xander dies, target opponent sacrifices half the non-land permanents they control, rounded down. So what you're going to do is you're going to put him out, you're going to swing, and then when he dies, you're going to bring him right back. We're going to have all kinds of instants that bring him right back out of the graveyard into play. all kinds of ways. And I'll show you that. I've already got a Lord Xander build out there. It's more on the casual tip. We're gonna get even more with the cycling them in and out of the graveyard, killing everybody's stuff, attacking, cycling. You're gonna like it. I really like this guy. Evelyn the Covetous. I think she's strong. She's higher up on the power level because she is red-black hybrid, black, blue-black hybrid, and 2. She's a vampire rogue, but she has flash. So there's all kinds of shenanigans that are going to be able to ensue with her because of the flash. There's already competitive Magic players talking about the old World Gorger Animate Dead combo, where you can keep flickering in your permanents, tapping mana, flicker out, flicker back in, tap her for mana, and then flash her in. And then what happens is whenever Evelyn or another vampire enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of each player's library with a collection counter on it. Once each turn, you may play a card from exile with a collection counter on it if it was exiled by an ability you controlled, and you may spend mana as though it were any color to cast it. So she's a little bit higher in the power level because there's shenanigans that you can do with her. Jetmer, Nexus of Revels. This guy is higher up on the power level because he's very strong. It's not going to be that hard to use him to create a huge army. So white, green, red, colorless creatures you control get +1, 0, and have vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. That'll be very easy, no problem. Second line says creatures you control also get +1, 0, and have trample as long as you control 6 or more creatures. Okay, that's going to be easy, and there's all kinds of token generators out there, especially in the set, like I mentioned, Grand Crescendo. Then the last line says creatures you control also get +1, 0, and have double strike as long as you control 9 or more creatures. So that's not going to be too hard, I don't think. They're all going to have double strike and trample and vigilance, and you're just going to have an army that can attack and then block. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to make a deck out of this as well. Next up on the power level is Luxor. She's number 2. Luxor, Giada's Gift. There's all kinds of shenanigans that you can do with this card. There's lots to talk about this card. Equipped creature gets +1 for each counter on it. Equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker, and it's a creature in addition to its other types. Equip planeswalker 1 and equip 3. So you can equip planeswalkers with this, and now it makes them hard to target. You could slip you could put this on it and slip a Swiftfoot Boots or a Lightning Greaves on it, and now it can't be targeted, it can't be attacked. And then it gets bigger as you increase its loyalty counters. So there's a lot of shenanigans that can ensue with this card. And then, in my humble opinion, this is the strongest card in this set. 1 green, 5 colorless, lands you control have, tap it, create a treasure token. That could get out of hand pretty crazy quick. Now you're going to be able to, a green can already got all kinds of ramp and stuff. You put this in your Jund decks or whatever, and now you are pumping out treasure tokens to put out your big dragons, drop your big spells like Torrent of Hailfire. This is a crazy, stupid, insanely strong card. So that's my number 1 strongest card. So I hope you liked my 25 best cards of the new Capenna set. I know nobody else is doing that many cards, but there's so many good cards in this set. Just the Tricycle lands alone are 5 different cards. I like that mechanic where you discard the creature card and give a land, Grixis or whatever. I really, really like this set. The more that I talk about this set, the more I like it. And we're going to do one more honorable mention is, and that's going to be this card, Slip Out the Back. I think this is a good card too. It allows you to use ETBs that any creatures that you have may have, but then also protect them. Slip Out the Back says put a +1 counter on target creature. It phases out. You know, this could go in your Traxa deck. Somebody goes to kill it or whatever, and you phase it out, and then it comes back with a counter on it that can now proliferate. I think this is a fantastic card. So that's the last honorable mention that we will do. Bootlegger Stash, my humble opinion, is the strongest card in this set. So if you would, please subscribe. Please get on my Patreon. I've got a box. I've got boxes I'm trying to give away. If you get on my Patreon, you're going to have a better chance of winning a box. So this video's running way longer than I wanted to, but I just love talking about Magic cards in this new set. So we'll get on out of here, and we've got more videos coming up. I'm going to make 1 or 2 more today, and so be looking for that. Thank you. Signing off from the Commander's Crypt, New Orleans.